Hi, friends. My name is Veronica Lamb, and I've been working with the Public Library of Albuquerque and Bernalillo County for 29 years. And today I would like to talk to you about our Every Child Ready to Read program. The Every Child Ready to Read program is a program where parents can teach their kids 5 activities before their kids are ready to read. And the activities are talking, reading, singing, playing, and writing. I like to do all of these activities in story time as well and talk to parents about why these activities are good for kids and why it gets the kids ready to read before they can actually read. So when I talk with my children or at story time, I like to use puppets to talk with them. The kids, even the shy kids, will be excited to see a puppet and they'll be more likely to talk with you. And when you're having a conversation, you want to have a two-sided conversation. Also, one of my kids, I ask him how his day went, and sometimes he'll tell me fine. And my other kid just tells me his whole day story. But for the one who doesn't want to tell me very much, I'll ask more pointed questions. So I'll ask like, "What did you eat for lunch today?" Or what was your favorite part of the day? And that kind of gets him a little bit more talking. Other ways to get kids talking is to use wordless books like A Ball for Daisy. And so kids can look at the pictures and then we can talk about what's happening in each picture and then we can make up a story about it. So these are ways that I like to get my kids talking is with wordless books, puppets, or asking specific questions about their day. For reading, I do like to read books. And like right here, you might see that I have a little frog theme going on. I do like to do themes at story time. So I might read a book like Jump Frog Jump. And sometimes with the kids, I will go ahead and start out like this. And then they'll say, "That's not the way you hold the book." And I'll say, "Well, what about like this?" And they'll say, "No." And then you look this way, and then you're like, "This is the front cover." So even kids, before they learn how to read, they know that reading goes like from left to right. They know that the picture corresponds with the words. They know all that kind of thing before they actually learn to read. They know how the book is held. So the next activity is singing. And singing is really important because it slows down language and kids can hear certain parts of different words. I like to use musical instruments when singing. And I will be honest, I do not have the best singing voice, but during story times and stuff, I just tell the parents that I don't have the best singing voice, and if they sing along with me, it'll sound better. We all sing together. I like to do a song in my frog theme called I Have a Little Frog. I have a little frog. His name is Tiny Tim. We do a lot of hand movements with the song, so songs and rhymes are really important. I like to play with the kids at story time or with my own kids at home because it helps their imagination. And so when you're reading and they're comprehending the text, their imagination can jump from like one thing to another. Like a musical instrument can become a sword, or I like to play with the beach ball and talk to them about what we're doing, or using the puppet to do different kinds of play. And you can do multiple activities at once. So you could be talking and playing with your child. You can do those kinds of things. At story time, one of the things that I like to play with especially is the parachute. And so we will wave the parachute and we'll sing a song and we sing the alphabet song while we're playing with the parachute. Things that I like to do at story time is write the kids' names on the board. And a story that I like to tell to parents at my Every Child Ready to Read workshops is about my oldest son who learned his alphabet before he was 2. I went to Hobby Lobby one day and he pointed up at the sign and he was like, HOBBY. And I was like, oh my God, how do you know that? Like, I have a genius. But later on, I went home and talked to Grandma, and she had been babysitting him in the afternoons. And Grandma likes to watch Wheel of Fortune. So what she would do is every time they called a letter out, she would write it on a chalkboard for him. And so that is how he learned his letters. And it wasn't Wheel of Fortune that taught him his letters. It was the interactions that he and Grandma were having, and she got to watch her show and teach him something as well. And so it's really important, and all of these activities can be done organically. You can search for letters of different things. If you go to the grocery store, you can have your child hold the grocery list and like check things off as you buy it so that they can get used to what the words look like. All of these things can be incorporated at home and in story time. Schools are really pushing you must read 20 minutes a night and you must be reading at this level by this age. And I feel like if you are reading to your children and doing all of the activities, they will hit their reading goals and they will be able to read at the appropriate age level. My kids like to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Dog Man. Like, are these the most literary characters? No, but we read them anyway because my kids like to read. And my younger child actually has learning disabilities, and so decoding the text is really hard for him. But he really likes books like Dog Man because he can go along with the pictures and read the text. And he is doing really well with his reading, thanks to Dog Man. Another thing that I like to do in the car with my kids is listen to audiobooks. We also listen to them on the Libby app. And they used to fight in the car, but then once we started listening to the audiobooks, they would just tune into the audiobooks and they wouldn't fight anymore. And nowadays, they even ask where the audiobook is. One last thing is if you speak several languages, you will also want to read in the language that you are most comfortable with. So the library also carries like books in other languages, especially Spanish in our area. And so it's good to get books in your native language. But thank you all for being here with me today and learning more about our Every Child Ready to Read program. Bye.